Hey, we could use more go-getters like you.
I might appear above the occasional frivolity, but no, I do enjoy spectating a rousing sporting match as much
Remember what we discussed and act equitably.
If you have business here, don't let me keep you.
Don't let us keep you.
Good luck, my ameliorator. Remember, you can't spell heinous ascetic without Auntie's choice.
Bronzing is prohibited in the Tuesday and Thursday rounds. Why even have the T-zones then? Oh, and sport conduct is tolerated? That won't put posteriors in the seats. A blood sport without blood sounds like red ink to Auntie. Our tossball teams play for keeps. I witness no... than 6 critical blood force traumas in last week's contest between the Easy Heel Loafers and
Have a
Spectrum
profitable
Brand
day.
Bandits.
Working hard or
I pit
hardly
our
working?
least bankable
That's
tossball
rhetorical.
team against the Protectorate's entire roster of pitchball pushovers any day of the fiscal week. Even with half our team's 32 backs benched, they'd forfeit by middle time. It would be an embarrassment of body goals. Imagine the ad windfall. Our athletic assets would achieve...
Welcome to Head Office Tower. Again.
Of course, I also enjoy the simple pleasure of watching professional athletes bludgeon each other. Such a relatable interest. Look who it is, the instigator of this little affair. Her mathematicalness should be along soon, unless the leader of the Order's too busy crunching numbers to attend to business. There we are. Apologies for the delay. We were resolving some technical issues. Cloister's atmosphere has a tendency to... Oh, yes. Regale us with a thorough account of Cloister's atmosphere. Oh, spare no detail. This must be Auntie Cleo's trademark wit. I expected better. Don't take that tone with me, little agent so-and-so. I've strip-mined the assets of tougher sorts than you for far less. If I was discourteous, I apologize. So long as our mediator proves up to the task, surely we can remain civil. If not, these negotiations may prove short indeed. From where I'm positioned, I sense 3 sore points still in need of massage. Point 1, control of the archive. Point 2, oversight of production and distribution of skip cores. And point 3, management of Rift technology. Before we go any further, I want it in writing that the Order will take full control of the archive without interference from Auntie's choice. What? So the Order can set it fruitlessly idling for another few centuries? We would put it to far more practical use. Imagine the marketing strategies it could develop. I would sever my own hand before giving custody of the archive over to a corporation. Humanity's ascension depends on its calculations. No, such a condition is out of the question. I am amenable to that proposition. Less work on our part. I'm waiting to hear an argument that would support such a ludicrous proposal. That is a compelling vision of the future. One I could perhaps support. Involving money in science seems questionable. But having access to Auntie's resources would be useful for our research. Fine. Yes, I agree. Reluctantly. Ruth, I commend you for being so receptive. And I assure you that Auntie's Choice values science. Nothing bad has ever happened when science and commerce are combined. On the subject of science, it would be most prudent for us to discuss who will be overseeing the management of skip drives, specifically the production of skip cores. No one understands production like we do. Besides which, we have far more experience using skip drives. It was how we came to Arcadia, after all. Where Auntie's Choice manages, the Order would undoubtedly excel. Do not exclude us from consideration merely for lack of experience. So you ramp up production? And then what? Hand skip drives out for free to whoever wants one? Preposterous, and a waste of a perfectly good monopoly. We would be diligent about who we licensed out the skip drives to, and a monopoly over space travel is precisely what I wish to avoid. This technology should benefit all humanity. That assumes Auntie's Choice would even abide by such a list of restrictions, and which would almost be impossible for the Order to enforce. Not to worry, we can build a regulatory commission to oversee production and make sure everything is up to Auntie's Choice and Order standards. I will want to run some calculations to be sure, but I'm willing to concede on this point for now. There is still the question of who takes possession of the Protectorate's rift technology once the war is finished. Although the science is still largely theoretical, this technology could be used to not only close rifts, but create new ones. A dangerous power indeed, left in the wrong hands. The Order would fritter away valuable time endlessly hand-wringing what to do with the technology. Auntie's Choice would actually use it. For good, of course. In a gainful manner. A 50-50 split? But that's so equal. Goodwill rarely converts well into bits, but I suppose I do take your point. If Ruth's open to it, I believe I can agree on the general terms here. And, well, we can haggle over minor quibbling details like percentages later. I shall look forward to brokering the math with you, Cleo. There is one final matter I wish to discuss. I require some chemicals that I have been told are manufactured at a plant on Praetor, controlled by Auntie's Choice. I know which plant you're referring to, Ruth, and what comes out of it is hardly safe for general use. Out of
professional curiosity, what could you possibly need with such dangerous compounds? Running a little experiment, are we? On what? Or whom?
That is, quite frankly, none of your concern.
It would be irresponsible of me to provide extremely dangerous chemicals without proper notification of what they will be used for. After all, we're partners now, aren't we?
I will make no progress with my request without further explanation, will I? While the Archive is an infinitely complex machine, an equally complex apparatus has been designed which allows one to interact with it directly. Brain-to-logic assembly, as it were. Unfortunately, this headgear exacts a rather tremendous cost on the wearer. A certain panacea is needed to survive it, but I require these chemicals to finish it. Perhaps I have not been entirely forthright. This treatment will enact a permanent change in my personality. Irreversible. But it will not cost me anything I would lament losing.
And I thought we were the ones who threw caution to the wind. Ah, well, Ruth, if worst comes to worst, I'd be happy to serve as a substitute teacher for the Order.
A generous offer, but I fear you lack a certain number of qualifications. Conscience, for example. You sound just like Laureate Beckett. I weary of having this debate, especially as I can never seem to win it. Very well. Never mind about the chemicals. Now is not the time for risky experimentation at any rate.
Oh, bother. Here I wanted to see Ruth lobotomize herself. Oh, well. Best I'll say is today's outcome is workable. Barely. Our gains were not as exclusive as I had hoped they'd be.
Arriving at any arrangement even remotely equitable was statistically improbable. Be glad our mediator managed to find a middle path forward. As am I. You certainly have a way of curving probability into your favor.
Well, that'll be all for today. Don't forget to purchase the latest in Auntie's Choice products out on the value-added Esplanade, or enjoy a refreshing cocktail at the Best Choice. And do come see me personally when you have time. I have just the thing in mind for an accomplished freelancer such as yourself.
One moment. There are still the logistics of recapturing the Archive to consider.
We'll, of course, provide our expert troops to support these efforts. Have your people call my people to sort details. Toodaloo!
Brusque as ever. Auntie's troopers will certainly help us manage the Protectorate forces easier, especially if supported by your help. But it would be irrational to expect you to endanger your own life without a more specific strategy in place. Fortunately, I have already given this some thought. First, Order forces must move into our former headquarters at Spyreton. A simpler task now that you have liberated it. By all accounts, you thoroughly routed the enemy. Well done. More importantly, there is a lift located in Spyreton which can deliver our troops into the Archive to assist you against the Protectorate. Unlocking and calling that lift can only be done from within the Archive, however. So you will need to infiltrate the Archive by alternate means, via a bridge connected to Newton. Fortunately, I am told you already dealt with the cultists there. Unfortunately, you will still need to find a way past a small rift currently blocking the bridge. There is a computronical key that you will also need to locate within the Archive called the Calcaduceus. The Calcaduceus grants special access to the Archive. Once it is back in Order hands, we will have full control over its systems once more. May you achieve progress in accordance with the plan.
I never would have foreseen this day would come. You are exceedingly unpredictable, Commander. In a good way. Mostly. It defies belief you negotiated a partnership between Auntie's Choice and my colleagues. I've no faith in my predictions now. True, true. But that doesn't mean I have to like it. May all our endeavors yield expected results.
If that blockade had been staffed by staunch Protectorate defenders, we never would have been able to overcome it. Truly a sorry defense.
I'm damn glad we could get Auntie's Choice and the Order to make peace with one another. I was worried for a minute that Basar was gonna pass up a good deal. Reckon this news will give the Arcadians hope. Law knows they need it. Anyhow, was there something you needed, Commander?
Commander?
When I first got assigned to your team, I was beside myself with excitement. Since then, you've really proven yourself every bit of the legend I hoped you would be. I've come to respect you, Commander. Not just as a leader, but as a, well, as a friend, too. I'm glad to hear it. Would have had some real grease on my face if you didn't. It was just me and Val for so long. I kind of forgot what it was like having someone else I could rely on. It's been real nice having you at my side. Not to get too maudlin, but I'm used to losing the people who mean the most to me. I just want you to know I'm not gonna let that happen this time. Don't worry. I'm not planning on jumping in front of any bullets if it can be helped. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. This can be a thankless job sometimes. Didn't want you going a day longer without knowing how much you mean to me. And to Val, too.
This unit is now at maximum efficiency. The overall likelihood of the team's total annihilation have been greatly reduced. Current status: optimal. The Earth Directorate thanks you for your service in upgrading your Valkyrie unit. Reimbursement for parts and labor is not available at this time. Did you know? The average Valkyrie unit remains in service for 5 to 10 years. Agent Abara, however, has extended this unit's functionality beyond this range. This unit is programmed to avoid commentary on age unless directly related to a health condition. It is always a pleasure to speak with you, Commander.
I would query if your day has been positive, but so few folks visit me if their integers are advantageous. So, how can I help? Of course. Though, unfortunately, because rebuilding this chantry comes with a cost, I must request bits for my services. Wonderful. Let us see what my ministrations can accomplish. Now, is there anything else you need? Of course. I am still replenishing my inventory, but you are welcome to anything I have available.
You strike me as the curious sort, dear. What is your most lettered field of study?
Lettered fields? No. Always been keen on ship engines, though. Skip drives, too.
Ah, skip drives are quite the enigma wrapped in spherical hyperalloy. I could talk your ear off about their theoretical fundamentals, but I suspect you seek more hands-on data.
And how? They always arrived pre-assembled back in my factory days. We just mounted them to the bulkhead and moved on. I'd love to crack one open and see what makes it tick.
That would be inadvisable. Best not go poking at fundamental forces with a crescent wrench, dear.
Influences.
Given how entrenched the Protectorate are here, we ought to consider a strategy. Crossing our fingers don't count.
Report them for mental refreshment post-haste. It's not just a good idea.
Not a bad idea, though I'd also suggest garnering backup.
Feeling distracted? Daydreaming on the job? Mental refreshment centers are there to
Happily.
Don't risk falling prey to imperfect thoughts.
Yeah. Repel invasive elements.
You are the raw material for perfection. From the lowliest subject to the most exalted vigilant, we must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate. We're all in this together.
Prudence dictates we cherish all we have and defend it.
Our enemies envy our prosperity, disdain our sense of community. They sneer at our contentment. preserve said progress, sustain the system.
Professor Ostergaard making a mess of things.
Gray gone astray? On this day today, are you mentally refreshed?
Remember, all subjects prosper under the guidance of our beneficent ruler, the Consul. The Consul provides the system of our...
Trust the plan, preserve set progress, sustain the system, serve the sovereign.
Oh, I feel terrible. Everybody who ate the latest Crabble rations fell ill. Rumor is somebody died. Huh? Oh, was it me? Feels like it was. Never eating Crabble again.
The console provides, the system abides. Subjects prosper under the guidance of our benevolent.
Shh.
Hostiles near.
Huh?
I'm the one you need to worry about. Hey, got a distraction for you.
Go for torpification. Target analyzed. Lay down fire.
Subject to the most exalted vigilant, we must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate. They sneer at our contentment.
got shipped here. I sold them to a protectorate officer who was low on supplies. Said it was imitation crapple meat. She means to pass them off as official rations. Imagine all those whole heads wolfing down failed Auntie's choice.
Ignore that. I promise you this is merely tomfoolery. There's no way we were eating failed experimental material.
Yeah.
New rule. No Auntie's Choice brand comestibles on board the Incognito.
Hostilities are afoot. Combatants
And I
scared.
bet whoever's responsible for this wire may lead us to our
Torpificator at ready status.
Let me know when you
Yeah. Adversary vulnerability. I have a fix on their weaknesses. Investigating hostile intentions.
Our enemies envy our prosperity, disdain our sense of community. They sneer at our contentment.
Prudence dictates we reject individualism in all its many forms.
Preserve set progress. Sustain the system. Grey gone astray? Look a stay today. Are you mentally refreshed?
All subjects prosper under the guidance of our beneficent ruler, the Council. Remember, the console provides, the system abides. Prudence dictates we rout all disruptive influences.
Is a fellow subject lacking the appropriate zeal for their assigned work? Report them for mental refreshment post-haste. It's not just a good idea. It's the law.
Prudence dictates we cherish all we have and defend it.
Yeah.
Talk about a feat of industrial engineering. The skill alone. Stick close, Commander. Wouldn't want you wandering off and getting lost.
Calcaduceus, not detected. Entry kindly, yet firmly declined.
What was in those rations? Not again! Oh, will this gastric nightmare never cease? Oh. Just a moment. Forgive me. I found myself irregularly indisposed from one direction or the other.
Oh, you poor man. I sincerely hope we don't have to shoot you.
I am the Archive's current operator. As such, I am the bearer of the Calcaduceus. I still have trouble saying that. It is part ceremonial item, part computronical key. Grants special access across the archive by transmitting a series of advanced calculations when waived. If you have cleared our fortifications outside, I worry what has happened to our troops. I have little interest in sharing their fate. I would pass the Calcaduceus on to you in exchange for granting me safe passage. The archive would then recognize you as its operator. All right. I am providing you the Calcaduceus. Don't shoot. Here, you are now operator of the archive. Congratulations. Be warned, you may find it a temperamental machine. Some maintenance may be required. Is there a protectorate curativist in the house? I feel rather woogly. Ah!
Caduceus detected. Alternative operator postulated. Concluded. Unmatched replacement. Greetings, sentient.
Dictates we reject individualism in all its many forms.
Preserve said progress. Sustain the system.
Hoyt. Name's Hoyt, right? I've noted some right sophisticated interactions among the Crabbles lately. Intricate courtship rituals, coordinated group efforts, all about thermal transfer. When my unit was first stationed down here, I kept making excuses to sneak off and observe them. Product research, I said. Very hush-hush. Eventually gave my lieutenant a field promotion and ordered them all away. Been living off the land here like the Crabbles ever since. Their unfertilized roe actually makes for some good eating. Included some with this message. Eat up.
Oh. Not sure how you managed to approach unnoticed. Could be I'd grown so attuned to my surroundings, I became one with the wood and fire and the earth. Were you left behind by your unit too? Are you in need of some hard-fought knowledge about how to fend for yourself? Must say, I've become quite the expert. Why, after only just 2 weeks on my own, I ascertained how to pry open a rations tin unaided. Did you know there's a little opener key attached? It's all going in my manuscript. So glad you asked. I've recently evolved into a rugged, self-sufficient individual, fully accustomed to life in these caves, living raw and pure like our primitive, lice-ridden ancestors. Why, just the other day, I reinvented fire. I found a little doohickey I've named a light starter. You simply push a button, and flame comes out. Well, firstly, you need to keep your eyes open because oftentimes things want to eat you. Secondly, you can't be too picky with what you eat. Thirdly, not everything you can eat, you should. There's a lot of trial and error involved. Mostly error. Who can say, really? One day you're impressing your colleagues by deftly fulfilling your manifold duties in the key role of auxiliary dabbler. The next, they're gone. Technically, the rank is auxiliary dabbler third rate. It's a role of no small import. If the primary dabbler is shot or captured, I'd be sent in to, well, generalize. Involves fetching, keeping comestibles at the appropriate temperature, and shut up, don't touch anything, and stay the void out of my way. Skills that serve me well here. I have a sort of neighbor who obligingly checks in from time to time. A fellow hale and hearty, like-minded individual who plainly admires my gumption. So much so, he often sends over parcels of food over the tube system, with doleful recordings like, "Eat this or you'll starve." Never even met him face to face. To exist in the wild, you must be a total opportunist, as you never know where or when your next meal will arrive. You'd know that were you a survival expert yourself. Nature abhors uncomfortable silences. You must have so many questions, and I have so much wisdom. I'm just bursting to share. Technically, no. I mean, I fashioned remains into this thought-provoking headdress, but it's made out of an actual sprat of abnormal size. I came across 2 of them. Well, they're cadavers, locked in a kind of death embrace. I thought, I share these creatures' fierce determination. How can I capture that? And voila, I fashioned one for my neighbor too. But haven't heard from him in some time. See you when I see you. Auxiliary Dabbler Schermerhorn, at your service. Why, sure. I just need to jot down a few details about you. Oh, I can interview you for it, just like on the Aether Wave. Today, I'm joined by returning guest castaway. What you say your name was? Who, like myself, is well known for their rugged exploits in alien terrain due to their experience and/or training. Tell me a bit about your background, stranger. Yes, thank you for coming. Something name I can't remember. Who is? Somebody who used to eat law-breaking hooligans for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Wonderful to have another like-minded individual make a guest appearance. Now, where was I? Oh, right. See you when I see you. Auxiliary Dabbler Schermerhorn, at your service. See you when I see you. Auxiliary Dabbler Schermerhorn, at your service. See you when I see you.
Name's Hoyt, right? I've noted some right sophisticated interactions among the Crabbles lately. Intricate courtship rituals, coordinated group efforts, all about...
Oh. Not sure how you managed to approach unnoticed. Could be I'd grown so attuned to my surroundings, I became one with the wood and fire and the earth. Were you left behind by your unit too? Are you in need of some hard-fought knowledge about how to fend for yourself? Must say, I've become quite the expert. Why, after only just 2 weeks on my own, I ascertained how to pry open a rations tin unaided. Did you know there's a little opener key attached? It's all going in my manuscript. Tut tut. Such concern is unwarranted, I assure you. I've recently evolved into a rugged, self-sufficient individual, fully accustomed to life in these caves, living raw and pure like our primitive, lice-ridden ancestors. Why, just the other day, I reinvented fire. I found a little doohickey I've named a light starter. You simply push a button, and flame comes out. Who can say, really? One day you're impressing your colleagues by deftly fulfilling your manifold duties in the key role of auxiliary dabbler. The next, they're gone. Oh, this is simply an elaborate test, I'm sure. And if I really outdo myself here, I might soon be knocking on the door of probationary inductee in training. Thus, I've been making the most out of my brief sojourn, building new skills, keeping track of all the lessons I've taught myself in my little survival journal. I have a sort of neighbor who obligingly checks in from time to time. A fellow hale and hearty, like-minded individual who plainly admires my gumption. So much so, he often sends over parcels of food over the tube system, with doleful recordings like, "Eat this or you'll starve." Never even met him face to face. Technically, no. I mean, I fashioned remains into this thought-provoking headdress, but it's made out of an actual sprat of abnormal size. I came across 2 of them. Well, they're cadavers, locked in a kind of death embrace. I thought, I share these creatures' fierce determination. How can I capture that? And voila, I fashioned one for my neighbor too. But haven't heard from him in some time. Well, firstly, you need to keep your eyes open because oft-times things want to eat you. Secondly, you can't be too picky with what you eat. Thirdly, not everything you can eat, you should. There's a lot of trial and error involved. Mostly error. See you when I see you. Auxiliary Dabbler Schermerhorn, at your service. Technically, the rank is Auxiliary Dabbler 3rd Rate. It's a role of no small import. If the primary Dabbler is shot or captured, I'd be sent in to, well, generalize. Involves fetching, keeping comestibles at the appropriate temperature, and shut up, don't touch anything, and stay the void out of my way. Skills that serve me well here. Why, sure. I just need to jot down a few details about you. Oh, I can interview you for it, just like on the Aether Wave. Today, I'm joined by returning guest castaway. What you say your name was? Who, like myself, is well known for their rugged exploits in alien terrain due to their experience and/or training. Tell me a bit about your background, stranger. Yes, thank you for coming. Something name I can't remember. Who is Somebody who used to eat law-breaking hooligans for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Oh, I'll draw up the necessary paperwork. Post haste. See you when I see you. Auxiliary Dabbler Schermerhorn, at your service. See you when I see you.
The console provides, the system abides.
Prudence dictates we rout all disruptive influences.
A fellow subject lacking the appropriate zeal for their assigned work. Report them for mental refreshment postings.
Prudence dictates
We cherish all we have.
Guards, cocked and loaded. Let's get this thing.
Individual ass.
Soften them up.
Beneficent ruler, the console. Prudence dictates we cherish all we have and defend it.
Our enemies envy our prosperity, disdain our sense of community. They sneer at our contentment.
Prudence dictates we reject individualism in all its many forms. Yeah.
Preserve said progress.
Your actions are in accordance with the plan.
Remember, all subjects prosper under the guidance of our beneficent ruler. Console. The console provides, the system abides. Prudence dictates we rout all disruptive influences.
Is a fellow subject lacking the appropriate zeal for their assigned work? Report them for mental refreshment post-haste. It's not just a good idea, it's the law. Feeling distracted? Daydreaming on the job? Mental refreshment...
Your methods are unconventional, Outlier, but you get verifiable results.
Keep effectuating what you're actualizing, friend. Lovely day for differential geometry.
Just want you to know, your efforts are seen and appreciated.
Welcome to the Archive. I am ENIAC, the Universal Equation Numeric Integration Analytic Calculator. With the aid of my operator, I, a non-sentient inorganism, marshal vast computational resources across the moon of Cloister. Effectively, that is correct. My tone and demeanor are a carefully constructed complex emulation, a means to effectively convey information to sentient beings. My express programmatical purpose is to aid humanity's advancement to optimize profits, i.e. gain over expenditure, to maximize the needs of our society above others, to attract the most consumers.
Is it broken? Did you just break the archive?
Beg your pardon. How may I best facilitate your efforts? Due to incomplete reprogramming efforts by differing operators, I am experiencing sporadic fluctuations in my emphasized categorical imperatives. Tonality and cadence weightings within my communication protocols are likewise similarly affected.
In layman's terms, we're experiencing a distinct difference in opinion.
Caused by intermittently vacillating fundamental shifts in priorities.
What approximates its mind has become trifurcated.
One would assume that calamity enough. But wait, there's more.
Calculatory processing presently hovers around 49.7% capacity due to internecine conflict, misuse, and a lack of technical prowess by recent operators and their associates.
Auntie's Choice attempted to formulate a foolproof marketing plan, a charm offensive to reintroduce itself to the main colonies, once this pesky rift issue is resolved by others.
The Protectorate ran rift calculations, then utilized me to assist with organizational matters, to approximate the paradigm, a system devised to replace the loss of the Order's predictive input. Based on the increasing rate of rift fluctuations, I estimate that your inquiry is rift-related. To that end, we should best get started before we are consumed by them. Perusing contents. Anatomizing diversiform particulars. Concatenating manifold integrants. Cursory assessment complete. An impressive accumulation of rift data. Similar in composition, though decidedly not in scope, to that provided by the Protectorate.
Information with the potential to offer unique commercial opportunities to those who wield it.
But why simply huck goods better, when such a bounty could be used to flawlessly regulate societal harmony, oversight, and means of production? What is the aim of your query? The previous operator, Assessor Ostergaard of the Protectorate, pursued a like query 1 year, 6 days ago, though the amount you've provided is several orders of magnitude larger. To perform similar calculations of larger scale at current suboptimal levels of functionality would require
25.7 years, and any job over 2 decades is billed by the hour.
In order to improve calculatory processing of rift data in a timely manner, repairs must be made to address the damage done by Protectorate and Auntie's Choice operators. I am unlocking access to the Underlands, the subterranean cave network below. It houses 2 key external systems, cold storage and thermal transfer. Cold storage will require servicing before you may retrieve the punch cards needed for processing. Repairing thermal transfer is technically optional, but rather advised. If you fail to restore it, the Archive and I may melt down later while running your calculations.
Why is that optional? Our continued existence should be a paramount concern.
It is difficult to accurately ascribe an exact causal breakdown between premeditated sabotage, collateral harm, technical ineptitude, and willful hijinks. Some categorical overspill inevitably occurs. Attempts by non-order operators to reprogram my priorities have also led to issues. It is an archival area dedicated to safe upkeep of all data collected in pursuit of the universal equation by the Order of the Ascendant. The sum total of all our accumulated knowledge in punch card form, kept in a low temperature, low humidity environment to improve preservation. Return later to discuss the remaining subsystem work. And soon, everything will be running like clockwork.
Have a profitable day! In lieu of my transactional mindset, I'm unsealed one of the display cases in the central entranceway. The Sears Cerebellum Protector is now yours.
You've been a real factor in our success.
Auxiliary Dabbler Schermerhorn, at your service. See you when I see you.